This has to do with the fact that as somebody who has lived in the Metroplex my entire life, I love it when this is a big game because people are already excited for the fair. But when it's Texas OU and it matters, this place is a buzz. This is not meant, I swear, this is not meant as a bash against either schools. I love it when this is the game.
You love it when OU wins more, though, right?
Sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Weird. I know I want to set some boundaries here real quick. Carter is you. What did you say about him? The biggest OU fan you know?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah. And as much of an OU fan as I am, Carter chose to go to the school simply because of their football program. That's the only reason he went there.
I choose to believe that.
Chris Arnold also went to OU. My wife went to OU. All right, so
all just because of football.
I was going to go there for baseball.
I grew up as an OU fan because my grandfather was, and we watched OU games together.
Right.
Or grandfather is actually, he still is. So we watched games
57 together. Run plays in this game.
Yeah.
OU.
So
that was where I learned football
back in the day.
So check this out, because this is just not accurate. From the 972 reality check, OU Texas has rarely mattered nationally. That's
incorrect.
Factually wrong.
Especially since that could be the winner of the Big 12, and that was a big factor of whether or not you were getting into the national championship.
So I did the research on that just to show how far in a decade this game has fallen, and it seriously bums me out. 2000 to 2009, that's your heyday of modern Texas OU. All right, I didn't dig back into the 70s.
2000 to 2009.
That's your heyday.
That is fact.
Okay. 10 games in that decade. 4 matchups, 4 of the 10, both teams were in the top 5. 3 other ones, they were in the top 15. 2 other ones, they were both in the top 20. There was only one game all decade where one of the teams wasn't ranked, and that was in 05 when Texas was number 2. So think about that. Only one time in an entire decade was either team not ranked at all, and 4 times both teams were in the top 5 at the same time. So if you think it didn't matter nationally, it definitely did in 01 when they were 3-5, or the next year when they were 2-3, or the next year when they were 1-11, or the next year when they were 2-5.
Would you blame then this discussion? Would you blame a lot of it on Texas? In that Texas we're back has happened and all that, and they've fallen, but their program has been in flux for a while.
So
because they've gone through so many coaches and their impatience there and their inability, they tout recruiting classes, but the reality is the product on the field is not as good as it was in the Mac Brown era.
So I think that's fair, and here's how you know it's fair. In Texas wasn't ranked in 13, 14, 15, 16, or 17. So check this out. You know how I told you last decade there was 4 matchups where they were both in the top 5 and 7 when they were both in the top 15?
Mm-hmm.
Since 2010, 0 matchups where they were both in the top 5 and 2 where they were both in the top 15. So in 10 seasons, 7 times, 7 of the 10 years, they were both in the top 15. In the ensuing 13 years, that's happened twice. And there's been 6 times where one team wasn't ranked. And then this year, did you know this is the first time since 1998 that neither team is ranked?
Man.
And it bums me out because I still think it's a huge game for the Metroplex in the area. And I know people who are Texas and OU fans, like you were saying at the beginning, it was as long as we win this game, that's a huge step for us.
Well, and somebody just said if OU beats Texas, it will be one of our greatest victories ever because of Lincoln Riley's betrayal in the last 2 losses. And a lot of times I would say coaches come into the UT situation or the OU situation, they go into big rivalries and they're like, oh yeah, it's a big rivalry. I understand, the magnitude of it all. Oh, magnitude.
Yeah.
But I think Venables does. Like that's a coach that definitely, he was here. He's already been through that before. He understands that. And so I don't, and I think Sarkisian does too. So this is one of those games where I think both sides understand, like really truly understand what it means, because Sarkisian's already been through it once at least. But I think, Kevin, I'm not sure about OU's season this year.
Yeah.
But I think Texas actually could have been a better product had Ewers not got hurt so early in the season.
Okay, now there's still time to turn that around then.
Who's now,
if you're Texas.
He's now announcing that he has a new NFT program, Ewers, that is.
Okay.
Where he's going to get paid.
I'm happy for him for that. I think that is less relevant from the football aspect, but somebody texts in, won't there be a Manning in burnt orange next year? Just wait, it'll matter again soon. Well, in the meantime, Quinn Ewers might be good to go this week. He's suited up the last couple of weeks, but I don't think anybody realistically thought he was going to play. But Ewers, they said earlier this week, is trending in the right direction to be able to play in this game. Well, because of that, Texas is already a 7-point favorite in this game. And you saw flashes in the brief moments that we saw him against Alabama that perhaps he could be somebody who makes a difference in big-time college football. So that's the potential for Texas to be able to turn it around. Get Ewers back, win this game, maybe win this game emphatically, and maybe your season starts to turn from there.
Kevin, you never worked in a bar, right?
No.
All right, so the time period that you're talking about, that game being very, very meaningful, I was running bars.
Yeah.
And this place is insane. And I think it's still going to be a packed place. But you're probably not going to get, are you getting game day? No.
No,
you're not
getting bootleg game day.
Yeah, Kansas is getting game day. You're not getting those extra elements to it. The views are great. You're going to get a gorgeous view of the state fair. You're going to get a lot of things that go on. But I know what you're talking about. It could be 3 days of content coming out of Texas OU because of what the potential for those two teams is going forward. Now, if somebody made this, though, they're going to be unranked a lot more often when they get to the SEC. Now, I don't know how much, because has A&M's recruiting benefited them a lot?
Oh, yeah. I think it can do the same for Texas and OU for
sure.
Their
records, are they records similar to what they were in the Big 12?
Yeah.
Just maybe more often opportunities to have better records?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the thing is you play tougher competition in the SEC, but also better recruits can get you back to that level. And that's the thing for A&M is I know this looks like a bad year for Oklahoma, but you've seen Oklahoma frequently make appearances in the college football playoff and everything like that. So you hope that the level of recruit you get helps you rise to the level of tougher competition.